What happens if we take the operational piece and the technical piece and we put it together so we can really identify where are the pain points and how do we get it fixed sooner, faster, better? And I about passed out when I found out that you have these agents that are taking thousands of calls a month.
Yeah. Most organizations are still only doing quality on 1 to 3% of their interactions. Yeah. Reina, that means that 97% of interactions, customer interactions, whether that's voice, email, chat, whatever, are going unheard. Hey guys, and welcome to another episode of Work in the AI Era. I am Juanita Coley, the CEO and founder of Solid Rock Consulting, and I'm sitting here with the epic, the amazing Reina. Reina, thank you so much. We're here at TALKDESK Cab event, and I thank you so much for taking the time to sit down with me. You can be anywhere.
My pleasure.
So, all right, I'm gonna ask you a couple questions, rapid fire, and I just want you to give me your raw, unfiltered answers.
Yes,
Deal?
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, all right, so first, I'm gonna start off easy.
Okay.
Tell the people who you are, your name, your role, organization, where are you at right now?
Sure. So my name is Rayna Ziadie. I am the Senior Director of Digital Consumer Experience at Memorial Healthcare System, and I also oversee the Patient Access Center operations. I have been at Memorial for 22 years. Most of my journey has been in IT for my career. I started in operations and then now recently I've kind of boomeranged back, but we're still balancing both IT and operations right now.
So we were talking a little bit earlier and you're telling me how you just got contact center. Tell me, how did you get gifted with that?
Well, there's a lot of organizational changes that's been going on, and so as a result of that, I think a lot of reevaluation around who's handling what. I think given my background in my journey and my entire career, even though I've gone into other areas, it's always been around patient access in some case. So even though it's also in patient experience and everything that kind of falls under there, I always say patient access is my love language, and it's a true story. So what happens if we take the operational piece and the technical piece and we put it together so we can really identify where are the pain points and how do we get it fixed sooner, faster, better, when you know both sides of the scale and you know both sides of what do timelines look like, what do resources look like, and just using the tools that we have. And so I think a lot of that was probably kind of rolled into the decision around.
Now you said something that was super key, and I'm gonna dive in a little bit more on that. You said putting the technical and the operation piece together, and I think that is exactly what work in this AI era really begins to look like when we think about transformational leadership. So my next question for you is, how is AI showing up? Like, how is work transforming and showing up in this AI era for you at Memorial?
It's funny because sitting through a lot of these sessions and hearing other leaders talk through where they're at, where they want to go, where are we as an industry, where are we trying to go, and I think we are all in the same spot where right now I don't think we truly know exactly where we're going, but we know that it's here and it's only going to get better, and we need to figure out how to use it to our advantage. I think soon though, whether it's automation, it's augmentation, application, there's so many different ways that we can use AI, but ultimately we're looking at how do we make workflows better, more efficient, how do we make people more productive, how do we put the right resources, whether it's AI or humans, in the right spot to provide the best patient care that we can. And I think it's some combination of all of that, and we're all kind of just playing with the tools we have, and and sometimes you're gonna fail. Hopefully you fail fast, and you learn and you keep moving. But I think a lot of it is just right now we're all figuring out how do you give everyone a spot where they're in the right position, and that's the truth. Is like you're just trying to figure out. I always say that putting people in the right spot is key, but it's putting people and tools in the right spot.
leaning into that a little bit more, talk to me a little bit about how are you using AI right now? Just some of the use cases that you're using AI. I think you were talking about how you're using TALKDESK today around quality, right?
Right.
Like how
yeah.
are you using?
So we just replace. Yeah. I mean, and there's a lot of different. I mean, throughout our healthcare system, we're trying right now so many different avenues to figure out where does AI fit, and using so many different tools. But in the call center, this was just a recent change. Since I got there, we were new, and I remember when they were telling us about how we managed call qualities, and I about passed out when I found out that you know, you have these agents that are taking thousands of calls a month.
Yeah.
And then we're having human beings pick out 3 calls for the month. When I heard that, I was like, what?
But you'd be so surprised. So many organizations, I was literally talking about this the other day. Most organizations are still only doing quality on 1 to 3% of their interactions.
Yeah.
Reina, that means that 97% of interactions, customer interactions, whether that's voice, email, chat, whatever, are going unheard. The customer is going unheard. The agent is being scored on 1% of their total interaction.
And believe it or not, our agents were thrilled to find out that now 100% of their calls were going to get graded against these, with these AI tools. And that was really kind of what raised the flag to me. Was so many of them were coming to me with ways, you have a new leader, so it's like, let me get a hold of her so I can tell her how we can make this better.
Right.
And that was a common theme that I heard was like, hey, our quality measures are not cutting it because we're getting coached against these calls. But it was like, that was a one-off. But then that happened to be the call that you picked. Right. And so, like I said, when I heard that out of thousands of calls for one agent, you're grading 3, I mean, it's just, how do you do that?
So I'm interested, what was the transformation from when you were just doing quality on 3 calls to now you're looking at, have you gained any new insights, or what has been the transformation?
You want people to do well, and you want to know who they are as a worker, and you're really looking at it like, you want to know that they get it. Do they get what's required for good quality calls for our patients, right? That's our focus, is providing excellent, customer service, excellent patient care. And so, when you're just picking 1 or 2 calls or 3 calls out of the month to say, this is going to define you as an agent, no, it's not, because you don't know what happened in those 3 calls. So to look at it now in such a holistic view at 100%, you're really able to say, do we need to refocus what our training is looking at? Like, do we need to reevaluate how and what we're training, or what these refresher courses look like? So it really just gives, the more data you have, the better decisions you make.
Yeah, the more data and insights you have, right, the better you are able and empowered to make better decisions. That's what it's all about at the end of the day. So you're using TALKDESK on quality, right, to kind of, you're using it from an AI perspective to look at all of your interactions. But what do you foresee as next? What's your next thing that you're like, okay, we're now looking at 100% of our interactions and scoring 100% of the interactions. We're getting data. We're improving our quality process, what quality actually means for patient care, all of those different things. What do you envision as next?
At least from my perspective, I'm constantly looking at where is the biggest bang for your buck. How do we make life easier for our staff so that we can move faster, better, and more efficiently? And for our patients, how do we get them the right tools where they can have the best patient journey that they can have and that we're capable of giving them? How do we automate the areas that I don't necessarily need you to use your brain?
Right.
And I want to use your brain for the areas where I need you. I want to use your empathy in the areas where I need you. And if this is just a process that you're repeating and you don't have to think, we should be able to automate that.
Right, I love that. Okay, my last question, if you had any piece of advice for another leader as they're thinking about how work is changing as AI is moving into the labor pool, right? This hybrid workforce, what would be your one piece of advice?
Don't be afraid of it. I think sometimes these new, AI is intimidating. And I think that being a leader in the industry, you're expected to know, and you need to educate yourself. You need to keep yourself abreast of what's going on and what's coming out and how those tools are used. But don't be afraid to ask questions, to dig in, to fail, and arm yourself with it as much as you can.
I love it. I love it. Well, thank you so much, Reina, for taking the time to sit down with me. I really, really appreciate it.
Likewise. Thank you for asking.
Absolutely. Well, there you guys have it. Until next time, you know what to do. Go be great and let's make impact. See you guys soon.